Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on Make It Monday. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and I cannot wait to show you this card. This is what I am calling an acetate window card. Can you see? You can see straight through this one. It's lovely. Using the Petal Palette suite bundle. So, if you have not caught this stamp set on my channel yet, where have you been? I have used it so much. I am loving this one. It is from the Spring Summer Stampin' Up catalogue. And not only does it have fabulous images and some beautiful florals, there is of course a coordinating set of Thinlits dies too that cuts out accent pieces as well as the images. And I love it. I've had so much fun with this one. Definitely got my money's worth out of it. And I'm also using the Petal Passion Designer Series paper. I'm going to make a slight alteration to this card in the one that I make for you today. In fact, I'm going to use slightly different colours on it. I'm going to use exactly the same colouring technique, and I'm going to put it together in exactly the same way. So, shall we get started? I have all my pieces pre-cut as ever. I have a basic black card base, 2 pieces of the Petal Passion Designer Series paper, and this has got some lovely leaves on one side, but I'm going to use the dots because I think that's really fun, and a piece of window sheet. So before we get started, we do need to trim this card base. Now the card base originally is kind of the bottom half of a piece of A4, so there was another piece here, and I've cut the piece of A4 in half, scored it in half to make my card base. Now, to make the window, all I've done is I've literally just chopped out a piece of the front of the card. So, let's do that bit first. I'm going to grab my stamping trimmer. I absolutely love my trimmer. There are 2 blades on a stamping trimmer. There is a pale grey blade we use for scoring, and there is a dark grey blade we use for cutting. They are super simple to change. They don't last forever, and I would suggest that you do buy a new pack or an extra pack when you buy your trimmer. And then pop a pack in every order so you've always got a spare blade on hand. I am going to take my card base and I'm going to insert it in so that I've got the bottom edge in kind of first. I'm going to cut at 4 centimetres like so, and I'm then going to pull that in again and cut again at 4 centimetres. So now that leaves me, let me move my trimmer out of the way, with a piece of card that has a kind of little flap on it, and then 2 pieces that are 4 centimetres tall, but the same width as my card base. Black might not have been the greatest colour to use here. I'm well aware of that because it's sending my white balance all over the place. Oh dear. But it looks good, doesn't it? It looks good once you've finished it, I promise. So, and there are, of course, photographs, and all the measurements are available on my blog. Link is in the down bar below. The link in the down bar below will take you to the exact blog post. That's the same for all of my videos. I don't just link you to my blog and then expect you to be able to find the blog post. I have 450 videos here on YouTube. I have a lot more than that blog post, so I'm not going to expect you to find it. The link is exactly to this blog post in the down bar down there. So, that's my waffle. I've got a piece of window sheet. Now, window sheet comes in big 12x12 sheets, and you get 2 in a pack, and it is fabulous. And I've cut it so that it's the same width as my card. As my card base, and I am just going to, am I going to insert it at the very top? Not quite. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run a piece of fast fuse. I'm going to use fast fuse because I've got it to hand. You could use red liner tape or tear and tape if you've got that to hand. I do love fast fuse, but it is going to retire from our catalogue at the end of this, well, these while stocks last. So by the time this goes out, it may well have already have sold out. So you do need to get your hands on it quickly. It is a super strong adhesive, so I've used that to attach that piece of acetate to the front there. I am then going to close that card over, and I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to line it up like that, and I will adhere it on again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my fast fuse, I'm going to run the fast fuse along that strip like so, line it up with the very bottom of my card with my card closed, and push down like that, and that has adhered that strip to my card base. Isn't that fun? I am then going to take the spare piece and just use it to cover the kind of this messy bit down here. You could do exactly the same for this strip up at the top. I haven't, just because I haven't, quite simply. I should have done, probably. Before we get stamping, I'm going to also do exactly the same with the designer series paper. So I'm going to pop this thin strip, is cut so that it will fit in the top panel, and then this piece is cut to fit in the bottom. And like I said, if you want any of the measurements, they are available over on my blog. Rather than me trying to remember them all on camera and getting it horribly wrong, I'm just going to point you there instead. So, while we have completed our card base, we do need to do some stamping, because, you know, I can't make a card without some stamping on it, surely. I have got the roses already on my block, and I've got a sentiment. I've used best wishes on this one, but I'm going to use thank you today. So I'm going to take my basic black ink pad, and I am going to ink up my stamp. Now your basic black ink pad is a slightly firmer ink pad than your standard Stampin' Up ink pad, so they do sometimes need a little bit more, a firmer touch. I'm going to do exactly the same with the sentiment. I'm going to pop that up at the top, and then I'm going to colour them. Now, there are some fabulous things that have been done with Stampin' Blends, our new alcohol markers and this stamp. They look amazing. But I am going to do one of my favourite colouring techniques, and that uses my Stampin' Write markers. Now, these are so underused, in my opinion. I absolutely adore mine. They are fabulous. I have pulled out Pear Pizzazz and Old Olive, and Sweet Sugar Plum and Rich Razzleberry to colour these. This one used Calypso Coral and Peekaboo Peach. Really, really simple to colour. I'm going to take the brush end, and I am just going to sweep the marker over the leaf. Now, you're going to look at this, I'm sure, and go, oh man, that looks really messy. And it does look messy until it's finished, and then I just think it looks fabulous. So I'm going to add a bit of Old Olive for some definition, a little bit of a darker green colour, like so. And I'm going to do exactly the same with my Sweet Sugar Plum onto the roses. Now, I am not looking to blend this colour. You are going to struggle to blend with Stampin' Write markers. They are a water-based marker, and they dry almost instantly. They're the same ink as the Stampin' Up ink pads, and so then they're not designed to blend, but they do layer, just like Stampin' Up Classic ink. So I'm just going to finish adding a little bit more of that Rich Raspberry on there, and I think that is done. Isn't that pretty? It's really quick, really simple, and you can get a really artistic look. So the next bit is some die cutting, and both of I'm going to die cut both the sentiment and the flower. So the flower has a dedicated die. Now, the sentiment, as you can see, is a bit short for this die cut, but I am going to trim it down. So I'm going to go away and just die cut the first bit, and I will come back. Okay, so I've die cut the flowers. I just think that looks absolutely stunning. And then I have used a little bit of Christmas retired washi tape to hold my die in place while I die cut the sentiment. So I'm going to just take that washi off. Might just be able to just slip that. There we go. Just like that. And I have die cut it with the sentiment right over to one side. And what I'm going to do now is insert that sentiment strip back into the die, but move it along. It's easy to see the other way up. But it's really simple to do because it's a straight edge. And I'm going to run that back through my Big Shot to give me a shorter sentiment strip. Okay, so now you can see that I have literally just chopped off that bit to give me a shorter sentiment piece. I've also die cut a second set of flowers, but a completely blank version, just for the inside of our card. I'm going to bring that card base back in. I'm going to take my flowers, I'm going to add some adhesive to the back, and I'm going to pop them straight down onto my card base. I am popping it onto the window sheet itself, turning it over, and then this piece is going to sit on the inside like that. And you could use this to put your greeting on if you didn't want to, if you're writing on the inside, because it is going to show through unless you do some kind of fancy foldy thing, which I'm sure you can do. I'm not going to do that today. And then the last bit is just to pop our sentiment on. Now this one, I have popped it up on a piece of foam adhesive, but I am just going to add this one with fast fuse, just like that. And that is my Make It Monday video for this week. If you've enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you are one of my newsletter subscribers, you will find a fun video coming into your inbox this afternoon about 2:30. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.